Hey guys, Xoranath here. We're going to watch my territory war attacks for the past two battles. First match we had was Salvong and Guardians, and then today's match is against Chicken Nugs and Jotunheimer. So it's going to be a mix of teams from those guilds. So yeah, let's hop into this first one. So I just brought in Res team here into this control team. So it's kind of a matter of who has, if they have good accuracy, if it's better than my resistance, usually what'll determine who wins this. Yeah, but so far it's looking like the res is holding up for this one. And I do like to kill the blue man-at-arms here first if I can, or the red specialist here, but I just kind of play it by ear and attack whoever has a defense break, to be honest, here in this kind of comp, because the man-at-arms is the only thing here with any amount of sustain. Once it's gone, it's no longer protecting the other units, and it doesn't have heals for itself. So yep, able to pull that one off. Next one, double snipe. Boost with the robo. Didn't quite get the kill there, but able to finish it off. But that was the main threat on this defense, was that red mercenary queen. The turtle here can do some damage, but it's not as scary as that red Merc Bomby, and we're able to just grind it down. And once they're down to the robo, very hard for it to survive from all this, from the damage from both the Annihilator and from the Clockwork. Merc Bomby team, bringing in the domes. Robo absorbing the first hit there, taking out the bear. I like whenever the Red Hog boosts the Merc Bomby, because then it times it so nicely for the green dome to just come in and smack it. Dome strike number 2, same tower, I'm guessing this was. I did get a stunner. I forgot, I don't know what I was doing with my dark police here, but I do like to run immunity on it. So I had the wrong gear set on here. Ended up working out fine, but I do like to have immunity there to absorb that first hit from the Merc Bomby. Because if I have cloaking on red and then the other unit's green, it's going to hit my sky police. Okay, brought in that res offense again here. They have bombs, and cool to see the green man-at-arms in here. One of the few units with root. I don't get to see it there. Everybody had immunity on. Didn't get the strip. Yeah, and here just, targeting the unit with the defense down. And it's nice to have the red nurse in here to cleanse the bombs if they do manage to land. Usually it can cycle fast enough here that we can get rid of whatever's ailing our units there. And we have good res and then also immunity here, so lots of tools to try to counter this. Of course, red sorcerer makes any defense hard to take down. Okay, and once it's down to the red sorcerer is not a great unit for soloing a whole defense. That was fun though. I like seeing the green man-at-arms in there. Okay, for this one I brought in a speedy control team here. Some LD5 action. Lots of good control and debuffs happening here. This is just a matter of controlling attack bar and keeping debuffs on whatever unit doesn't have debuffs. Both S1s for Maid and for the Puppet do attack bar pushback, so if you're really fast, you can really control the tempo and the attack bar for most of these units. Cheeky little freeze in there. This one just brought in a red assassin team here. Idea is just go in, kill something with the assassin, and then boost it back up, and then kill or do some good damage to something else. This defense featuring the blue bookworm. Getting a good freeze in there. I do have to worry about glancing here, but I'm able to make it through. Another double snipe attempt here. Killing off the Sky Police, killing off the Man-at-Arms, and then they're just down to the support. Bringing in the purple paperweight here. This is mainly a Dark Joker offense, but it's fun to bring in the Dark Barbarian every once in a while here. Every once in a while he can hit something. Here comes that annoying unyield. Oh, but we killed it beforehand. Took out the red nurse nice and early. Take out the Man-at-Arms, and then purple paperweight comes in and finishes off the bear. I was towards the end of my coins with this one. Just brought in a whole bunch of blue units into this team. This might be one of my first ones that I'm using the blue fairy in an offense here. Which is nice because they're throwing out all these debuffs and we can throw them back. We have some heals and a good HP lead with the Iron Fist. And then on offense, I think Blue Bear is usable as a water bruiser. He's fine. As long as you don't put him to sleep and then he can keep boosting his attack bar, he's not so bad. This one just brought in fast team here. Booster, AoE defense break, and then a damage dealer. Didn't quite do enough damage onto the Sky Police there. Sky Police coming in, getting some good damage onto the pumpkin. Taking out Sky Police. Here comes the CC from the Scorpion. The Annihilator. Good damage from our water lead here. Pretty hard for blue Sky Police to solo. Not a bad defense though. All right, we're moving over to the Nugs and Nugs and who was Jotunheimer Dome team for this first one. Very meta defense here. This is, I think, probably the most meta version of this blue Merc Mommy team. There's a lot of iterations of it floating around, but I think a lot of folks have settled on Red Sorcerer being in there. It's got to kill things so many times. Got that one. This one I got Turtle, Barbarian, and the Bear in here. I brought a Dark Joker team, absorbing a lot of that crit damage. Do like to try to take out the Turtle here first because it's probably not high crit. I'm guessing that the Barbarian's decently high crit. Lots of good multi-hits into that one. And then now we're down to the Bear, and even if the Bear is built low crit rate, it's still going to have a hard time taking out the Joker here. I think it was on auto at this point. All right, next one, they got Blue Monk. They have the green sphere, and then, of course, the Red Sorcerer. Interesting with the cooldown shenanigans for the sphere here. I brought in, tanky Res Bruiser team. I use this offense for a lot of general purpose things. And, of course, do have a source of Corrupt, so slowly knocking their max HP down. And the Monk is, can do a lot of damage with that S3, but at the same time, it also makes itself very vulnerable. So just waiting for a good opportunity for the Monk to kind of misplay it with its S3, and then, finishing it off when its health's lower. And taking advantage of some of just whenever the units have a defense break, just doing some extra damage there. Big S3, finishing off the Monk. Now at this stage, it's very hard for this defense to to win, frankly, whenever the monk's gone, because the monk's really the the threat here. These guys can mess with their cooldowns and stuff all day here, but there's not enough damage at this point for this to finish the defense or finish the offense off. But I imagine that monk, if it hits and then gets its cooldown reset, can do some pretty funky things. And just down to the sorcerer here, which this is a auto at this point. Another Merc Mommy team. Now I do want to say, I think this was probably the best geared Merc Mommy defense that I've seen. Getting the cloaking on the bear, very good counter. Immortality on the red sorcerer, very annoying. This one here is very good. One life off there. Didn't want to hit into the bear, just hoped for some non-glancing action. It's always unfortunate whenever the dome gets the defense break on it, because that's its main source of damage. Robo doing an okay job tanking there. Took a little bit of a gamble and went for the hit onto the bear there. Then once you lose the dome, it's over. But yeah, like I said, that's a very good defense. And I was laughing about this one because I brought in a snipe team here, but they put Immortal on the barbarian here, so I was like, oh crap. Yeah, wasn't expecting it on there, so that was very good for the first attack into it. I think is very nice. But once the offense knows that there's Immortal there, it could play around it. But yeah, very very funny for a quick battle there. And I wanted to try this one more time into that really good Merc Mommy one, just for science. Just wanted to see what would happen if I tried hitting some other things. Tried for a little bit of a risky hit into the Merc Mommy there. Sometimes I do that every once in a while. And the red dome, if it doesn't glance, you can snipe off the blue there. Wasn't lucky enough though to get that though. Took out the bear. Yeah, it didn't work out. Like I said, that's probably the best version of that team that I've seen so far. So nice job on that defense. I had a cheeky extra coin left, so I thought we would YOLO into this other Merc Mommy team. It's trying to solo with the Dark Joker here. What do you guys like to do if whenever you have like a spare coin left? What types of do you like to use them and just try to do something funny like this? Look at this guy go. He's just invincible. I do think though that Dark Joker is, I think he's a bit overtuned. I think he's really too straight. He should not be able to do this. I think one way to fix him would be, so I like that he has, the crit mechanic to him. I think that's cool. But I think giving the plus crit rate when you're attacking him is maybe too strong, especially when you're attacking a light unit, because it's almost like now you're invincible. So I think just like reducing the crit into him, getting rid of that part of the passive could be a fine way to make him more balanced. He's just so strong in almost every single offense. And super strong on defense, too. He's just a very strong unit. And you can see here he's making his way through soloing this current meta defense. Very funny. and he was able to do it. Very efficient use of a coin. That was a makes up. I feel like that made up for one of my dome strike failures, was you getting that Joker win. Yeah, but there you guys go. Those were my territory war attacks for the past 2 matches. You know, and shout out to the Guardians guys, the Chicken Nugs guys, Jotunheimer and Salvong. Those were fun fights, and you know, lots of strong players on these teams. And hope we get to verse you guys again here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you in the next one.